This video is going to show you a solo GM on a Prismatic Titan that does not contain Consecration. I repeat, this build does not contain Consecration. The goal of this video is to showcase a endgame PvE build for Titan mains and a exotic class item that you should be chasing or checking your vaults for. The GM is Behemoth. I'm not going to go into the modifiers because I already have. Just 2 key points. Famine is on and Shock Collar is on, which is a 20% buff to special weapons and heavy weapons. And champs are Barrier and Unstop. Really simple. So the build in question, it is an exotic class item that I'm saying to Titan mains, look, go and get this because it's that good. Check your rolls if you've got this, because this allows for aggressive play. Now this isn't Consecration, as I said, but you can play aggressively with this build. The build is Spirit of Scars, Spirit of Inmost Light. Spirit of Inmost Light will buff your abilities. Spirit of Scars will give you infinite restoration if you pair a weapon matching your super. In my case, it's a stasis weapon. Glacial Quake's a very good super at the moment in the game. So this is where my whole idea started to form. What weapon in the game is very good that's stasis and you can spam it for restoration? Well, that weapon, people, is a lithium. This weapon can basically one-shot red bars in GMs and do decent damage to yellow bars and champs, so that you can get infinite restoration with this build. You see how it's working? Now, if you don't have the roll, you can use it with the Scars helmet, but it's not as good as my roll, simply because I have Inmost Light on and you don't. If you run the exotic class helmet, Scars, you don't get Inmost Light, so this is therefore better than the Scars helmet. I have used the Scars helmet in the past. If you don't have this roll, in the meantime you can use Scars, but try and chase for this roll that I'm showing you, because with Inmost Light you can spam your abilities. This allows for suspend builds, grenade builds, melee based builds, anything you can think of or what you want. This is better for build crafting. Better for build crafting. The mods are on screen. I'm going to go into the fragments. We had a utility kickstart build. Heavy ammo finder could have come off because we didn't need it, simply because a lithium can generate me heavy ammo and there's a lot of bricks, so I could have took that off. Anyways, on with the fragments and aspects. So we want a frost armor build with this, and we want a sort of suspend thing going on, and we want diamond lances. There's a hell of a lot going on with this build. Glacial Quake is the super, obviously. Rally Barricade, Shield Throw, Pulse Grenade. We put Pulse Grenade on because we don't need Shackle and we don't need Glacier. And we don't need these two. So I was like, I want a damage style grenade. So if ever I want to use a damage style grenade on Titan Prismatic, I use Pulse. Although Glacier is very good. I know it is a chunkin'. But in this case, I use Pulse because I need light energy, Guardian. I don't want darkness. I've got all the darkness energy in the world. I want more light energy, because my weapons are mainly dark, my aspects are dark. Do you understand it? That's why we ran the Pulse. Aspects, Diamond Lance and Drenger's Lash. A lithium will generate you infinite amount of Diamond Lances, providing that the cooldown for Diamond Lance is over. You will keep getting a Diamond Lance. So this is a Diamond Lance build. Not only that, it's a suspend build. Because of Inmost Light, we can spam more Drenger's Lash. See how this is so good? Right? So let's go into the fragments. They're all important. They're all very important. Faster balance for ability regen, which does stack with Inmost Light. Facet of Hope for more class ability energy, which means more Drenger's Lash when we have Frost Armor. When we have Frost Armor, we will get more class ability energy. Facet of Protection for resistance. Facet of Dawn for radiant. It's a damage bonus for weapons. Facet of Ruin is a huge one. It buffs the super. It buffs Diamond Lance. It buffs my guns. It buffs a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going for Facet of Ruin in this build. It improves shatter damage. Facet of Purpose gives us Frost Armor. This allows us to stay alive in endgame. And you're very tanky as a result, because we're using Glacial Quake. So Frost Armor is the key word here with this. So again, we're using this lithium. A Scout Rifle because there's barrier champs. And this weapon, finally, Fire and Forget. This is a weapon that you need to go and craft right now with this roll. This is a fantastic Grandmaster Nightfall weapon. I used a chill clip in my previous video, right? Well, this one's 10 times better than that. The reason being is because it's an adaptive burst and each shot is activating chill clip. So if there's 3 rounds in each burst and there's 7 ammo per mag, how many chill clip shots are you getting? Well, I can tell you that if you have a 7-round mag, 4 of your shots will be chill clip. But it's not just 4 though, is it? Because you get a 3-round burst and chill clip activates on each individual burst. So what's 4 times 3, everybody? What's 4 times 3? That's 12. So you get 12 chill clip shots per mag. This is OP, and it stacks with Hill of the Storm. It stacks with Stasis Chunker. You can Stasis Chunk with this linear. It's so good. I can't believe how good it is. You need to go and craft this ASAP. And it's got Vice Stinger, and it's got Field Prep. You may as well go and enhance the perks as well. I didn't on this run because I didn't know how good it was until I ran it. So I will go and enhance the perks. So make sure that you go and do that. This is a must craft. It absolutely chunks with the Stasis mods this season. Artifact mods, bunch of Stasis stuff on. Concussive reload, you know, that was literally it for the build. With Fire and Forget, it is buffed by Hail of the Storm. Because when a target is slowed, right, then you get that damage boost. Now, popping a bottle is recommended to boost all of your damage for everything in your build. So pop this bottle right here. That was the build for this Prismatic Titan. Okay, so now you've had the build description, on with the demonstration of it. You know, we can talk all day, but is it good? Let's see. So I procced the Shock Caller first, then started to shoot the Thresher with Alephium. The absolutely melting this Thresher, by the way. I know I had a buff there, but it still destroys Threshers quite a lot. So that's the first Thresher taken care of. Now we've got a Drain Bane here, so let's see how well the build does. See that Overshield there? See, they buffed Overshield, so that makes Shield Throw a little bit better than what it was or used to be. So look at the amount of chunking there that we're doing with Fire and Forget. You'll see me spam this weapon. The reason being is because I can, because I have a Lithium to generate me Vestiges, so I can generate a heavy ammo brick on demand. Granted, it's probably an ammo finder one that I'm getting, that's what I found, but that's still strong in itself. Now we're going to deal with this barrier here. So we're going to get our pulse grenade down, an overshield. We'll do some damage with the Fire and Forget. We'll get a stun, because this champ's pushing me. There we go. He gets a nice boop on me. That guy gets blinded by my barricade. So yeah, we was actually pushed there by this unstop at the exact wrong time, but luckily we have our super, so we can deal with both champs. I have Hail of the Storm popped, the bottle that is, so that improves Glacial Quake shatter damage. Very important that you put that on. It will help with your Fire and Forget damage as well. Remember, Fire and Forget, it activates chill clip per shot, which means more shatter damage. Just pay attention to the damage that it's doing. I know we get knocked up there in the air, but it's doing more. It's doing more damage than any other linear. It's doing more damage than most other legendary linears. I have not tested that, but you can just sort of tell when you're playing with a weapon on how powerful it feels. And this weapon feels very powerful with this particular role. Very good on GMs. A very good linear fusion rifle on GMs is the chill clip field prep. Not only that, you get more ammo with field prep, and you get a quick reload when you crouch. Field prep's a goated perk, always has been. Field prep is the reverse of air trigger. It's basically air trigger. It's the same thing as that, just it's operated in a different way. You crouch rather than jump. That's what it is. So look at this here. We are pushing up. We're getting restoration every time. After restoration ends, we can reproc it. Just pay attention to left hand side and my health. You will see that I keep getting my health back. This is OP. This is OP. We'll pop a Transcendence here. We may as well. We've got it to use. So this build contained enough Transcendence energy as well. And we get a Diamond Lance for every Alephium kill that we get that is not on the debuff timer. So if there's no Diamond Lance cooldown, you'll get a Diamond Lance right away with a Lithium. So we'll pop a super here because we may as well. We're pushing up, you know, we're not sitting back. I didn't want to sit back on this run. This run's trying to show you that, you know, you can push up on a build like this and be effective with it. Just look at the amount of Diamond Lances that we throw. And Diamond Lance, you know that I'm not a huge fan of Diamond Lances, but in this build I am. And the reason being is because of Hail of the Storm. Hail of the Storm buffs shatter damage that much that Diamond Lances are so good. They stun and unstop right on impact. You know, that's OP, that's so good. Now we've got our Vestigial to use. What I would say as well, so that you don't die, don't play at the very back of the map. Play aggressive. Do what you want on this build, but don't play where the drop pods are, because you know you're going to die to a drop pod, don't you? If you stand in the wrong place. Now we've got a barrier to deal with. Let's deal with the barrier first. Before we start doing ugly, let's get rid of this barrier. I've got Arrowhead Break on this craft as well, on this gun. So Arrowhead Break is just really good on this linear, because this linear kicks, or it used to kick a lot more. Bungie actually buffed this gun. It was how long would it might have been last year or something. They buffed its animation. The recoil on this gun was bugged for Fire and Forget. It was terrible when it first launched. Now it's fantastic. Okay, it's really good. Look at that sound. It just dissipated there. So yeah, barrier's taken care of. Now we're just popping a Transcendence here. These dogs will just jump up. And we're just looking to see if we're getting any Banes, but we've still got our Transcendence. Nice Shackle here. Get rid of this Scion here as well. So this phase, there's not a lot going on with this phase. It's not until the latter phase where it becomes a little bit more difficult, but only a little bit. Because I have Restoration in my build kit, I'm not really threatened by anything too much. And this build would apply to anything in the game, right? Any GM, you know, maybe apart from Luminality, you need to be a bit more precise on your loadouts. But that is the only GM in the game that stops build crafting anyways. It's the only GM because it's the worst designed GM in the game. But every other GM, fine. Lightblade, this would be fine for. Corrupted, it would be fine for. Obviously, you need to think about champs. But I'm just on about survivability here. And I'm saying, look, anywhere you play in this game, you can use this build. Day 1 dungeons, definitely. That's something. Also, you'll heal your allies. So it's a team exotic as well. I believe it heals allies as well. So yeah, you can use this anytime at all. But try to have a spammy weapon with it. Now obviously if you were on, like, say, Twilight Arsenal, you would need a Void Exotic primary. Alright, Graviton Lance. Alright, if you're on Hammer of Soul, even though Hammer of Soul's bad on Prismatic, but say you could use Polaris Lance or Sunshot, depending on what the champ mods are next season. I'm just saying that this is a neutral exotic class item that you can synergize so many different weapons with. But I believe this to be one of the best because Aletheum's a grenade launcher that has infinite ammo, and you can one-shot red bars, so you can literally roam the streets of the ads and not pay the price of dying because you haven't got Consecration on. You wouldn't need it. Well, you know, Consecration's amazing, obviously, but I'm just saying, look, this is an alternative way. Not only that, it works with my heavy weapon, so, you know, if I'm under pressure trying to kill a champ, if I get that kill with my stasis linear, I get restoration again, which that's when you're going to be weak, isn't it? When you're trying to gun down a champ and there's ads up, well, that's when you're going to be weak. But if you confirm the kill with your linear, boom, restoration. So easy this GM. With this loadout, the GM is easy, I agree with you, but like I say, you can apply this build to many different things in the game. Now I forgot about this Thresher. I forgot about the Thresher that was up. That's fine though, we quickly ducked and dived. You need to take out the Thresher. I highly recommend that you do that as soon as you can, really. There's no point to leave that Thresher up. The Thresher doesn't seem to be tied to any enemy spawns neither, so Just take out the Thresher with your lithium. You can even use a bit of linear if you want. It's up to you. It doesn't really matter. But look, couple of shots and then we're done. Okay, so on this phase, this is the hardest phase of this starting section. Where I like to stand is left-hand side, because you can abuse a bit of cover and you can sort of play kind of aggressive with the Prismatic, with the Transcendence and your Super to speed things up a little bit. The place to stand is on left. I'm going to go there in a minute. I'm just getting rid of some of these phalanxes. A lithium's not very good on phalanxes. Well, it sometimes is. If it hits the shield, then it won't penetrate if you haven't got the barrier on it. But obviously, you know, I'm just realising I didn't have Overload GL on, did I? I guess it doesn't matter. Well, it does matter a little bit, yeah. Make sure you got Overload GL on. The reason why is because that you will debuff enemies and they will deal less damage to you because you disrupt combatants. So yeah, I've just noticed now at this run I don't have Overload GL on, do I? The thing is, I won't get less damage though because the gun is overcharged because of Stasis Surge. So I haven't lost damage, but I have lost some damage resistance. Because technically you disrupt combatants when you overload any enemy, not just overloads. Okay, we'll pop a Transcendence here. This guy is being annoying. We need to take out basically this guy here. That's fine. We get a Suspend. We'll use a bit of the Fire and Forget. The goal of the Transcendence pop there was to take out the major target. Ultimately, but this is a nice place to stand, as you can see, because there's enough cover to stay alive, not to the point where you're going to die, as long as you control your adds good enough. But like I say, with the lithium, the thing about it is the phalanxes. They can be annoying like this, or if you miss your shots like that as well. Barrier Scout will shoot through them. Obviously, don't forget about that. This Unstop has pushed, and unfortunately my Drenger's Lash just missed him. He just backed up outside of that Drenger's Lash radius. But that's okay, that's fine. We are going to stun him anyways in a minute. We've got Fire and Forget, don't forget, which we're going to use now. We'll get a quick reload with Fail Prep. So remember, it's 3 shots. That was technically 6 Chill Clip shots that we did there, because it's 2 shots. And it's 3 individual bursts, isn't it? We'll pop a Super here because this Unstop's been a bit awkward. That's the Unstop dealt with. And that is the section done. Quick enough, not bad. 11 minutes, not too bad. We'll pick up the heavy. I could have spammed even more heavy than what I did there. But I'm showcasing the GL off to you and how you can use it effectively on this Prismatic Titan build with Spirit of Scars. So you can see from the gameplay, look, you keep getting restoration back. You can't refresh restoration, but you will get it back after the 3 seconds runs out when you get your next stasis weapon kill, which is, with a GL like this, is going to be right after, isn't it? It's going to be a second after you'll get it back. So you'll keep getting restoration. So the more red bars there are, the better this is. It'll 2-shot a red bar. Sorry, an orange bar. It'll 2-shot an orange bar with 1 for all. I think just about, yeah. So that's strong as well. So even if there's lots of orange bars, you're still going to cook with this gun. Make sure you got the damn catalyst though with 1 for all. That's going to make all the difference. Alright, so how we do this. So from my hunter run, I do this bit a little bit more efficient now because I know the enemy spawns. So on this plate that I'm on, the Legionaries are infinite, but on the other plates, they're not. So every now and then you'll get 3 Legionaries, right? But you need to clear out a certain amount of enemies, just 100%. A champ gives more progress than a normal red bar, so try to kill the champs as soon as you can, or when they push. Like for example, now I'm on 80%, so to speed this up, I should be going to kill the Unstop. If there is an Unstop on this phase, I can't mind if there is or not. I don't think there is on phase 1 by looking at it. The Unstop might have spawned in might be spawning on this phase. So now we're at 100%. Your only goal really should be to take out the major target. Everything else will be a time loss, but don't make sure that you die in the result of trying to rush through it though. But just focus the main target. Once you get 100%, you don't make no more progress. You need to kill that VIP, get the ball, then throw the ball, and then you can start. The sooner you get on to the next phase, the quicker it'll be, obviously. Now, he might be... Look at that. What's happening to the game? Where is he? That's one weakness to Stasis, by the way, with the knockback. By the way, it's meant to knock enemies back. That's part of its perk description. Shiver Strike. I know the super slightly different, but it acts similar to Shiver Strike. It knocks back enemies. But what's happening is, maybe because of the Hail of the Storm, I don't know, but enemies are getting knocked back even more than usual, and then it ends up the game just being all weird, and it has to respawn an enemy in somewhere because you've knocked them 50 meters away. That's actually bad for the player because it means you've got to reset and do your damage again, right? Whereas you had him, you had your strat, you were about to kill him, and then he respawns somewhere you don't expect. Look at this damage with that's Facet of Ruin, by the way. So if you want to be effective with your Diamond Lances, make sure you run Facet of Ruin. That will enhance. This is a nice place to stand on left if you get some unexpected adds like that. Got another Diamond Lance here. The Slam's better, by the way. You can throw it, but I feel as though the Slam feels a bit more powerful. But obviously sometimes you will just throw your Diamond Lances rather than slam it. Depends on where the adds are situated. But I like to slam it when it's in close quarters like this. We didn't quite get the Diamond Lance slam there, but it wasn't too bad. Nice Drenger's Lash. Very good for champs. Very good for VIP targets as well. We have our Vestige Alchemy. So we've got Vestiges. So right now what I need to do in a minute is proc the heavy pick and generate some heavy ammo. I should be doing that more. The more I play with the gun, the more I'll do. I'm going to pop a Transcendence here because this Unstop has pushed. We may as well. That's so good damage. Did you see that damage? The chunk there at the end. So good. Like, that's doing more damage than probably Sleeper on champs in specifically, and probably more than Queenbreaker, because Queenbreaker's good now, don't make no mistake, we are compounding, but the fact that Fire and Forget is competing with those two linears and maybe doing more, I don't know specifically, but it looks that way. I get the impression that sometimes the Hail of the Storm is chunking with all the chill clip that you're doing, because you're not just doing one shot of chill clip, like I said. You're doing 3 chill clip shots per shot. I said it's 12 chill clip shots per mag. You are more than killing a champ in that mag. You will kill 2 champs in that. If the champs are lined up correctly, then you will. This guy I did not realise was there. We get a good shit. This is exactly why you run. Did you see that? That's exactly why you run a range melee. We didn't get our overshield there though, for some reason. Don't know why I didn't get an overshield. But that's why we run the shield throw. So shield throw is better on a build like this, because when you're like behind a barricade or something, and for Inmost Light, by the way, because you need the playback loop for Inmost Light is to keep using your grenade and melee. If you've got on something like Shiver Strike or Hammer Strike, then you've got to round that charge up, then go and shoulder charge the odds. It's just not as good for ability uptime. Are we understanding that? It's a bit better, this shield throw for this. For a build like this, it's more of a lockdown build. You can, we're locking down, we're suspending, and when you suspend, chances are you're going to back that up with an overshield. Then you're going to back that up with some weapon damage. That's the playback loop of this. Look at this shatter damage here. But I was impressed, honestly, massively with this build. Really, really impressed with the amount of shatters that we can do. I know that there's another Alephian build with the Blast Strider boots on the Titan. That's a fun build, but this build that I'm presenting to you today is better than that one. Simply because it's common sense. It's got Restoration built in its kit. The game is made for Devour Restoration Frost Armor, Woven Mill. That's what the game's balanced around nowadays. So I say, you know, play the game to how they want you to. You know, you don't need to be ignoring that fact. Don't ignore the fact. Don't be ignorant to that. The game is based around, you know, it's more dense than ever. You know, so it's always nice if you can incorporate some restoration, some devour, some damage resist in your build. And that's what this is doing. Obviously no devour, but we've got restoration. We don't really need a devour per se. Okay, so we need to start killing these champs to our left, really. That's ultimately what we should be doing. But this sniper was bothering us. These leeches, like I say, they keep spawning on top of your head. They're quickly killed off, though. And you're going to get restoration as you kill them, so it's okay to stand here. There's obviously heavy crates to pick up. I don't think I picked up one single heavy crate in this run. That just goes to show you how good the build is for that. So this champ here, we're going to get our Drenger's Lash to stun. We'll pop Super E. It's worth a Super Pop because the second Unstop has also pushed me. So he was going to interrupt my damage on that first one. So it was a good pop that. Just to get rid. Okay, that is the champ finishable. Restoration saved us there as well. If you saw, I was actually taking damage off that Unstop, the explosion. So the key target's a barrier on final phase. So what we're going to do, because we're in a good position to do it, we're just going to use Fire and Forget. Because the champ is in a good position on the right. So we're just going to take care of him quickly. Because the adds to the top left will interrupt your damage. So standing where I just did there was actually an opportunity. So that's why I sort of backed off on the aggressive play for a minute and said, right, okay, let's get rid of the champ. That frees up for you to then fight the adds on top left. Because you need to fight them to throw the ball. You need to throw the battery, and the battery's probably going to track the adds. So just thinning out the adds. The battery or the battery does not seem to despawn. But on my other run it did despawn, so I'm not 100% on that. If it does despawn, there's a dog that respawns anyways. So there's no way to bug it out. We use a super there. The reason why we use a super is because you're going to get your super back off the flag. In Battleground Strikes, they give you super regen for free. And all ability regen. Apart from Transcendence, it does not give you Transcendence. Look at this, we're generating heavy. Look at all the heavy on the floor. There's a crate there to pick up as well. I guess I could go and pick that up on the final phase of the boss if I needed. I didn't think about that on the time, but I could. So 21 minutes in, start the boss fight up. We're looking to get a debuff on the boss if possible, and maybe even a pulse grenade. We're hopeful. But we're getting hit too hard, so we're going to pop a super. You need to pop your super before your shields break, at least. Because on exit point of Behemoth super, for you, it means you're going to have to leave early and it'll be less damage. But look at the chunk damage that we did. We done well there. Without a debuff, we didn't debuff him with concussive reload. But that's fine, because we're good. I'm happy with the chunk damage that we did. It's alright. So now we're going to do this playstyle on the cliff, and we're going to spam our GL. This allows us to stay alive. Don't worry, I will obviously play with this, you know, when I get my super back, go and super the boss, etc. But what I realise with this run is, especially with the Glacial Quake, just super the boss when he has his shields up. There's two shields. But the weird thing about the Cabal shields is that if you do enough damage to the boss, the shield disappears without you damaging it, because you've bypassed that damage requirement. I'll point that out when we get to it. I'll point that out when I get to it. So we're just doing our debuff damage here. We're building up vestiges as well. This allows me to spam more Fire and Forget. So not only are we doing damage to the boss, we are generating that vestige bar so that I can start so that I've got ammo for champs and stuff, because there is some champs and it is handy to have when we're up against them. So two unstops on this phase. We're going to get a Transcendence pop. Unfortunately, the unstop has jumped to the left. That was not in my favour. That's fine. And there is a Meteor Bane somewhere. So I've got to be a little careful with that. But we have got Overshield. But yeah, these unstops on this phase was not in my best interest, to be honest. But we've got... It's fine. Because look at the freeze there we got. We got a good freeze. That's worth the ammo commitment there. We get one unstop and the second unstop is weak. We need to kill that unstop first. The quicker we do that, the quicker we can damage the boss again. Now on this run, I ended up clearing all the ads just about. Apart from the final phase, I actually cleared out the full battlefield because I was having that much fun with the build. It's actually in your best interest just to clear the ads, then do DPS. It literally is. So look at that. These ads keep needing me over and over. They're being annoying. Okay, let's deal with some of them then. That's fine. You know, we're 24 minutes into a run. And this GM's quite long, may I add. A lot of people are saying it's quite a long GM. There's a lot of ad. You know, I'm not saying it's the most difficult GM in the world. I'm not saying that. But I am saying, look, GM's quite long. And this build is really good for... staying alive because of restoration. Infinite restoration. What more could you want? Okay, so we'll try and deal with that Meteor Bane as well. Second champ is dealt with. We've got a super to pop, but I'm not going to pop it just yet. The reason being is because by the time, in a few minutes, it won't be 1 or 2 minutes, it won't be much longer, but the boss is going to pop a shield at half HP. And I've got a Transcendence to pop, so I'll pop that instead. Right? Because the super is that valuable on the Cabal barrier shield phase that at this point, you know, I could go and super the boss, but then by the time I do that, he's going to be immune in his shield, and I'm going to have to build up another super. So that's a time loss for this, for me. So instead, we'll chip the boss down to half HP, which is what, another 15%? Then I'll pop super and watch the massive amount of damage that we do to him. We actually bypass a lot of phases when we do it. And I'm picking up ammo here. I get weak. That was very lucky there, but good movement as well. I'm trying to pick up these ammo things. I could have went back for the crate at the start, but I didn't think about that on the run. But I could have just did that. But that's fine. I guess I'm showcasing more so me using the ammo, because I will use the vestiges for more heavy coming up. It also gives me a chance to build them up. This sniper's annoying me to the right. Be careful, I'm trying to prioritize snipers. Sniper to my left. But just make sure, especially on a build like this, keep popping those barricades. Keep popping the nades and the melees, so that you get a good ability uptime on, and use Spirit of Immortal Light to the fullest. So we do some more fire and forget damage. The boss is set. There we go. Here we go. Here's the damage. So yeah, the boss is still debuffed. We get the debuff off again. Then we'll use super. Look at the chunking we're doing. Now we're actually bypassing that phase. So even if you don't destroy the Cabal bubble, it'll despawn anyways, because it's bypassing that phase. Because once the boss is shieldable, you're on the next phase. So see the amount of damage that we did there? That's a good 30-40%. That's because of Hail of the Storm. Hail of the Storm's doing all of that for us. And may I remind you, I haven't got Symphos on. You know, I haven't got Symphos on to improve the damage and stuff. It's, you know, just as you see it. The champ is the next priority. If you can get a good angle on the champ like this, do so. We've got 9 fire and forget chill clip shots. Well, 9 total left. We're going to use some of that to finish this champ off. Note the weakness to adaptive frame linears is the range. That's where precision frames are a little bit better from range, but your 20 to 30 meter radius, adaptive frames are better than precisions. They just offer a little bit more damage, And on a chill clip one, this is just so good, right? Now, this unstop, I'm trying to bait him to down here, but because I'm slowing him with concussive reload, I guess I'm slowing him and debuffing him a little bit. It's stopping him from doing that. Because that's exactly what I was wanting to do. So then what I'm wanting to do is maybe pitch up in a different location. Just waiting for some of these ads to push. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my stuff, my abilities. Then we'll do some fire and forget if we can. I've lost chill clip now though, but he is still frozen. This sniper's annoying me. I'm quite weak there as well. That's fine. We'll just confirm the run by jumping back there a little bit. Champ is finishable. We'll do just that. We can even freeze him, look. Okay, so now the boss is damageable. 29 minutes in. Same thing again here. We're going to send the boss to his Cabal shield. Then we will kill him with a super. So rather than super now, which is not the play, I'll tell you why, because you won't kill him in time, and he'll put up a shield by that time. So what you want to do instead is just do your chip damage to him whilst clearing out all these ads. Then we'll do a super at the very end to kill him. Okay, we can spam our abilities. Bear in mind, Spirit of Behemoth like works with Transcendence gameplay, so you're going to get more shield throws, more Transcendence nades, etc. That is exactly why this class roll is better than Scar's. The helmet. Right? Because these class items were designed for Prismatic in mind. They didn't want you using full exotics with Prismatic. That's not the idea of Prismatic. Okay, the idea of Prismatic, generally speaking, not always, but generally speaking, they want you to use the randomly rolled class items. That's their purpose. And this roll is better than base Scars. And I've told you why it is. Because the ability neutral gameplay is better on this than it is with base Scars. All base Scars offers is restoration. I've already got restoration by the Spirit. Now, the boss is in the mid. I don't think we debuffed there. Couldn't tell. But we do end up killing the boss. Just because of the amount of stasis chunk and damage that we can do. So yeah, that was a solo GM on this with a unique Prismatic Titan build. Super fun. I highly recommend that you try out this build, especially with the Lithium GL, because you can literally spam it and have infinite restoration. What more could you want? This was a run on this. Hope you enjoy. Thank you.